So when we put our business together, I had previously been at a family business, multiple brothers making multiple decisions, and I didn't think that would be successful in what we were trying to put together. We started the business and talked about relationships first, and then what we do second was structures. So the way my business was actually put together, a fraternity brother of mine introduced me to a developer. He was a broker that worked for the developer, also had a brokerage business. And it was just the right time in life for me. I wasn't going to grow in the family business. I was never going to get a piece of the business, and I kind of ran the business for them. My parents had relocated, so I didn't have a male role model in my life, and the developer really became truly my dad for about 10 years. We started the business 11 and a half years ago. He exited at 10 years, and that was in the original business plan. What do we do? So we are third-party construction builders, construction managers, general contractors, and design build. I'll go through each one real quick. General contractor, somebody gives us a set of documents, like Brett in the back, brings us into a deal. We get a set of documents, we give you a number, a lump sum, a schedule, and we're either competitive or we're not. Sit down and we kind of go from there. In the construction management piece, we're a lot more value add. We're in early and literally control the project a little bit more, again, to these guys' budget at the table. I am the last one on the food chain in this grouping, so I also pray that the financing is actually in place, and I'm not told it's in place, and that it actually pencils as a deal, because sometimes it doesn't at the end of the day. So when we built the business, we went wide instead of narrow. So we got into different markets where the market would take us. So we do office, both interior and ground up. We've built one ground up office building in the 11 and a half years we've had the business. Residential is new to us. It came out of our education practice, which is a lot of charter schools in Newark. We got into Teachers Village because of that and have since grown that practice. I believe we have 8 or 9 presently being built. Healthcare is anything outside of a hospital. Industrial was where my partner's business came out of. So we were in the industrial business, but we niched that and went after food, frozen and refrigerated storage. And then our corporate, I'm sorry, I went to that. Educational is mostly charter, high-end prep school, and then university, private universities. The way we do is mostly cost plus a fee is what we do. And then when we put the business together also, issues I had in the past were when I was at Trost, I ran 4 or 5 project teams as a project delivery unit manager. And within that, they delivered them differently. So we went to technology to be able to put a platform together so that we could A, see everything, so for transparency. B, I would have the delivery units delivering the same. So if I was doing a rollout, and that's what we look for, again, those relationships, not projects, is what we chase. We chase something where there is the opportunity for another project. If we just looked at projects, and I was talking to one of my business development guys about this, I have a friend who's got 20,000 square feet of office, it's $1 million job. I can't replace that for 10 years. They're not going to do another deal for 10 years. It's a 20,000 square foot office, unless I know other pieces of the transaction. So again, we go back to, it's all about relationship. An advantage that I have is I grew up in the market, so I know a lot of people, whether it be politicians, lenders, whatever it may be. I'm able usually to make things move along our supply chain path. Some of the other questions, stress, it's stressful, but it changes from day to day. And I could be literally standing here today, tomorrow I'm in mud watching a pour, interviewing somebody, talking to a client that we lost a piece of business, why we lost a piece of business. It's a lot of client facing, and then it's a lot of back office support. Hours, so I live my life, and I pay a guy $400 an hour every month to tell me how to live it. But I try to do a third. We're transparent here. A third. So I try to do a third of my business, a third with my family. And the way we were raised, I was raised in a very unique household. My mom's a civil rights activist, and my dad's a lethal killer, West Point grad. So you're in conflict from birth. But what I try to do is I try to do a third of my time that I give back, a third of my time running my business, a third of my time with my family. My wife would tell you I'm completely full of shit with that third. 97.3, but who keeps score? We're not supposed to keep score. As far as the business coming out, so our entry level or starting piece is in the project delivery units, project managers, and what contractor ever was on time. You guys know that. All my life. So it's anywhere from 75,000 as assistant project manager to engineering students are in the low 100s. I think the leaders of those units, and we unitize everything. The leader of the unit could be in excess of 250 to 300,000 in base comp, with a multiplier based on how the business does, how they do with their internal plan. Education is big for us, so they really truly have to educate themselves along the way, and then a personal growth plan too. As far as doing it all over again, I probably would do a couple things a little differently. I'm in a very low margin business. I also pray that all these guys factor that in along the way, because I'm often, from my good relationship, asked to take a lot of hair at the end when they don't pencil and figure it out. I would, at a 3%, and they all get to see my financial statements, at a 3% net business, there's not a lot you can give. I probably would look at doing something, whether it be true niche, that has a little bit more margin in it. But I'm still here today for 3 points.